So this week's Championship review, we start at Bristol City, who strengthened their playoff credentials with a 2-1 home victory against Norwich City. Mark Sykes and Nahki Wells' goal seeing off the Boyer Saints consolation. 6 minutes it took for the opening goal. Dickey won the ball in his own half, skipped past two Norwich players, then Max Bird found Sykes in space. He cut inside, he beat Jose Cordoba and curled a beautiful left foot shot into the top corner. One became two when Joe Williams intercepted the ball, played a precise pass to Wells, a clever turn, created space for himself and fired a low shot into the bottom corner past George Long. He should have had another really with an open goal. Somehow he managed to place his shot back towards the Canaries keeper, who then made a fine save. Despite the lead, Norwich continued to threaten as Cernach and Sargent both had efforts for the away side. Norwich dominating possession overall with 57%, but Bristol City's counter-attacking strategy proved effective. Both teams had 5 shots on target. Saints pulled one back for Norwich in the 82nd minute, but despite late pressure, they couldn't find an equaliser. Liam Manning said afterwards, "We've been in that position numerous times this season and dropped points. So to get over the line, huge credit to the lads for staying calm and sticking at it, running, fighting and competing." That's 8 wins in the last 11 at Ashton Gate for Bristol City as their season continues to impress as it goes on. It's a real fight in those playoff places, but Manning's team are well in it. The Robins confirmed their first league double over Norwich since the 2008-09 campaign, having beaten the same opponents 2-0 in November. That's a total of 14 win nows for Bristol City. Looking at the statistics, they're starting to get some joy with goals and returns from ranking high in the league for shots and shots on target. Bristol City will return after the international break with a tough away fixture at promotion-chasing Burnley before they face Watford a week later. Norwich City were unbeaten in their last 3 away league games, seeing that run ended here as they continue to drop points in recent weeks. Thorup said, "We're in a difficult place at the moment. It takes a lot for us to get something out of the good stuff that we do, and we get punished really hard on the 1 or 2 mistakes that we made in the game." It's the usual for Norwich though, threatening going forward but conceding far too many. Admittedly, they don't score as many on the road, but just 5 clean sheets all season is almost the worst in the league. The Canaries have West Brom up next at Carrow Road a week on Saturday before they travel across the country to face relegation-threatened Plymouth. Alex Neil got the victory over his former club with a last-gasp penalty converted by Mihailo Ivanovic, giving his Millwall side all 3 points with a 1-0 win over Stoke City. It took 40 minutes for the first shot on target, both teams struggling to create clear-cut chances. Stoke claimed closest to scoring, with Bojan Ho hitting the crossbar and Wouter Berger's one-on-one effort saved by Lucas Jensen. But the key moment of the match was undoubtedly the penalty award, after Josh Coburn was deemed to have been pulled down in the box by Ben Wilmot after a long throw-in. Ivanovic confidently converted, sending the keeper the wrong way and finding the top corner. That dramatic moment sealed the win for Millwall and left Stoke frustrated with the decision. The win moved Millwall up to 11th place, 5 points off the playoff spots, while Stoke remained in relegation trouble. Alex Neil said, "Whether it's a penalty or not, we've all been victims of decisions across the season, but I thought it was no more than we deserved for our second half performance." A welcome win for Millwall against an opponent they have good form against, having lost only 1 of their last 13 against Stoke and none of their last 7 at home against the Potters. Only Coventry have scored more 90th minute winners' goals in the Championship this season than Millwall, with that last-minute penalty closing the game out in jubilation for the home fans. That penalty was the 6th goal of the season for Ivanovic to go top of the Millwall goal-scoring charts, bringing Millwall their 13th win of the season and an important goal which have been a struggle of late. Sunderland away awaits on the horizon for Millwall when the Championship returns. Following that, they will host John Mousinho's Portsmouth. Stoke's poor form at the Den continues. They've not won in their last 7 visits, looking all the way back to 2005 for their last win at Millwall. Mark Robins said afterwards, "What the referee has seen for the penalty, I have no clue. Their player put his arm inside Ben Wilmot's arm, then rolled, and I don't know what Ben's supposed to do because he can't get away from him." Stoke have lost their last 4 away league matches. Frustration at the late penalty will be added to seeing themselves slide closer to relegation danger. The Potters will take on QPR at the Bet365.com stadium next time out, before Mark Robins takes his side to Preston. QPR almost caused a shock at Loftus Road, but saw their 2-goal lead wiped out by Leeds United in an entertaining 2-2 draw. Leeds had threatened early on, but were shocked after 17 minutes when Koki Saito capitalised on a defensive error. To cutting inside from the left, he unleashed a stunning first-time strike into the top corner. Now, Daniel Farkle had been frustrated by the marking for the second. Steve Cook was left free to rise up off Paul Smith's cross and head the ball back across goal off the far post. Leeds pulled one back when Junior Firpo's effort deflected off Morgan Fox and into the net. QPR players protested they believed that Jayden Boga was offside, but the goal stood. They then brought the game level. It was a quick Leeds attack. Dan James saw a cross parried by QPR keeper, but Boga was on hand to slot home the rebound. Some great finishing, but also a late sending off as Saito added a red card to his goal with a studs-up challenge on Dan James, leaving the referee no choice. Leeds remain top of the Championship table, while QPR ended their 4-match losing streak, slipping to 15th place. Cifuentes said mixed feelings today. Definitely from one side we are disappointed not to take the 3 points after taking a 2-0 lead, but I'm aware that we played against a very good team. What a start QPR made at Loftus Road, with memories back to last season's 4-0 win over Leeds. They were clinical early on, but Leeds were always threatening, and Rangers were pegged back. Home form remains good for QPR, who have won 7 of their last 10 league games at Loftus Road with only 2 defeats. They stopped that all-important run of defeats at least. A lack of possession wouldn't have fazed Cifuentes' side, who are used to their opponents having more of the ball. Saito's goal was his 3rd of the season, as Cook has now scored in back-to-back fixtures. A week on Saturday, QPR will resume their Championship campaign away at Stoke City, with a home match at Loftus Road against Cardiff to follow. Leeds often struggle at QPR. They've lost 5 of their last 6 at Loftus Road. Their poor form in the capital also continued, winning just 5 of their last 43 in London, despite a good comeback here. Farkas said QPR deserved to be in the lead because we were poor in the first 25 to 30 minutes. What was good was the reaction of my team today. Last season we were 2-0 down after 20 minutes, but today we fought back. Ignore some of the colours on the results on the graphic, they're incorrect, but worryingly for Farkas' side, they've been dropping too many points since the win on the Blades. It's just 2 points now between the top 3. Leeds will look to get back to winning ways when they face Swansea City at Ellen Road, then they face Luton a week later at Kenilworth Road. Cardiff City secured a huge 2-1 victory at Ewood Park against Blackburn after being booed off against Luton on Tuesday. This was much needed for boss Omar Rita. Cardiff took an early lead when Servet Mansverk delivered a precise cross from the right. Salic, unmarked in the box, headed the ball into the bottom left corner, giving Cardiff a dream start. Blackburn responded quickly with a well-worked goal. Emmanuel Dennis whipped in a near-post cross, and Ahashi rose to powerfully head the ball past Ethan Horvath, levelling the score. Cardiff substitute Yaku Meite made an immediate impact, scoring with his first touch with the important winning goal. Will Alves sent a pinpoint cross in from the left, and Meite got across his marker to glance a header into the net, securing a vital win for Cardiff. Alves almost followed suit with another assist for him. He saw his shot blocked on the lines. He tried to put his side ahead for a cushion. But then there ended up being drama late on. Referee Adam Herzig awarded a penalty for a handball from Callum O'Dowda, but then he changed his mind after consulting with his assistant, who deemed that Maktar Gay had handballed instead. Ritza said afterwards, we changed the system during the second half to a 4-2-3-1 to give us more impetus in the front line and apply more pressure. It was a much needed win. Mentality and approach now is about getting the job done. That's 3 straight defeats now for Blackburn, as the season is in danger of fading away from that excellent early position. Ishmael said this one is the most disappointing when speaking of his 4 results in charge. We played well with belief and conviction. It was a step forward, especially in the first half. For the squad, the drama around the Eustace situation is probably shell-shocking them a bit. Ishmael's trying to work with them quickly. Players are coming back from injury like Ahashi, but Blackburn needed to stop this rot after the international break. They travel to Portsmouth when the Championship returns towards the end of March, before a Friday night under the Ewood Park lights hosting Middlesbrough. Cardiff were winless in their last 8 visits to Blackburn, and the time to break that run could not have come at a more timely need, with the relegation battle really hotting up. In fact, this was only Cardiff's 2nd away victory of the season, having previously only won 1 of their last 20 away league matches. Yusuf Salic has been an excellent addition to the Bluebirds. His 5 goals in just 12 Championship appearances have come at a rate of 0.73 goals per game. Cardiff return home to take on Sheff Wednesday next up for the Bluebirds, with a trip to QPR then awaiting a week later. Haji Wright scored his first since his return from injury, his 2nd and his 3rd, as Coventry blew Sunderland away 3-0 in this highly anticipated Championship encounter. The American international's first saw him receive a pass from Victor Torp, cut inside past Luke O'Nien and unleash a low left-footed strike from outside the box into the bottom corner, composed and clinical. Sunderland struggled to create any meaningful chances in reply. Eliza Mayenda and Wilson Isidore sent efforts off target in quick succession though after the hour mark. A penalty was awarded after Chris Mepham mistimed his challenge on Wright, who had made a clever run into the penalty area. He stepped up and calmly converted the spot kick, sending the keeper the wrong way to double Coventry's lead. Wright completed his hat-trick with a sublime finish in the 73rd minute. Latching onto another pass from Victor Torp, he chipped the ball over the advancing goalkeeper, showing his composure and his skill. The visitors failed to create significant chances throughout, managing only one shot on target, as well as defensively unable really to deal with the performance of Wright. Frank Lampard said afterwards, "I hadn't seen Hadji, of course, with his injury. All I know is what he'd done here before, so I was excited to get him back. And for him to play this level of game today and show what he did was really impressive." Coventry City have won more Championship games in 2025 than any other team. That's 8 of their last 10 home league matches, as the CBS Arena is becoming a nightmare for away sides. The win moved Coventry back into the playoff places. It's looking like a difficult task for them to be dislodged on this form. Some tough games to come, but they must fancy their chances of a playoff run now. Hadji Wright had to wait with injury to add to his goal tally and became the first American to score a hat-trick in the English second tier since John Kerr for Millwall against Derby in August 1994. The Sky Blues are next in action on the final Friday in March as they travel to Bramall Lane to test their form against one of the leading sides in the division, before they host another in Burnley just a week later. Sunderland remain winless in their last 12 league visits to Coventry, with their last away win tracking back to when the Sky Blues played at Highfield Road all the way back in 1985. Regis Lebris said Coventry were good, very good. They were intense with the ability to create chances through different ways. We were prepared for that tactically, but on the pitch our intensity wasn't high enough. With recent good away form, they'll be disappointed not to compete. 3 out of their last 4 away matches had ended up in victory. Those slim chances of the top 2 are dropping away fast, but playoffs certainly secured. Sunderland at home to Millwall is the next one in the fixture computer for the Black Cats, with a trip to West Brom to follow in their next Championship matches. A goalless draw at Kenilworth Road between Luton Town and Middlesbrough, both sides leaving this one with a point. Luton dominated the first half, creating several clear-cut chances, but their finishing let them down. Elijah Adebayo and Thalo Asgard missed golden opportunities to put the Hatters ahead. Despite not registering a single shot on target, Borough defended well and managed to frustrate Luton, especially in the second half. Liam Walsh twice went close and Asgard wasted the first of 2 wonderful opportunities to come his way when he smashed a shot over from close range after great work by Adebayo. Middlesbrough goalkeeper Mark Travers was instrumental in keeping a clean sheet and made some crucial saves to deny Luton. The draw leaving Luton 4 points adrift to safety in their battle against relegation, while Middlesbrough remained in 8th place, 3 points off the playoff spots. Matt Bloomfield said the performance was excellent. Some of the football we played and the chance creation was fantastic. I'm very proud of the performance. We came out of the traps quick, played our formation incredibly well. So it's an 8th draw of the season for Luton as their defence has now seen back-to-back clean sheets, which is improving their defensive stats on the league statistics at least. Luton now remain unbeaten at home against Middlesbrough since all the way back to 1974, with the last 8 ending with at least a point for the Hatters. The only stat that matters, however, is the league position. They will need wins to get in touching distance of the pack above, who are all picking up points in a very exciting and dramatic relegation race. Luton will travel to relegation rivals Hull in an intriguing Championship clash next, before they host a Leeds United side fighting for promotion. After 5 losses in their last 6 away matches, a draw could be seen as an improvement, but Borough will want to keep the points going to try and sneak into one of those playoff spots. Carrick said the pitch was difficult to pass the ball on. It was as bobbly as you could get and everything that didn't really suit us. It was a challenge to play good football. That was just the second goalless draw of the season for Middlesbrough off the back of the strong win over QPR. Playoffs still in the eye line. Borough will welcome Oxford United to the Riverside after the break, then travel for a Friday night fixture at Ewood Park to take on Blackburn Rovers. Siriki Dembele was the hero, scoring the decisive goal as Oxford United saw off Watford at the Kassam Stadium. Watford were the better side early on and almost captured the lead when Georgie Chakpatadzi's free kick was inches wide from breaking the deadlock. Musa Sissoko saw Jamie Cummings stop his effort when through on goal, and for the hosts, a returning Cameron Brannigan saw a left-footed shot well kept out by Egil Selvik. James Abankwell received his second yellow card for a late and clumsy challenge on Primasor Placheta near the touchline, sending his team down to 10 men with over 10 minutes remaining. Just 3 minutes after the red card, Dembele latched onto the ball in the penalty area after an advantage when Mark Harris was fouled, firing a right-footed shot into the bottom corner from 10 yards. This strike not only secured Oxford's first win in 10 matches, but also marked Dembele's first goal for the club. The result was a blow to Watford's playoff hopes, while Oxford gained a vital 3 points in their fight against relegation. Gary Rowett said it was a difficult game, not only the opposition, but a bit of swirling wind. It helped us to press them. It helped us to stop any rhythm, particularly early on, but we never seemed to build any real momentum. Oxford had won 2 of their last 27 games against Watford in all competitions. This one, though, helps them stem the tide of recent disappointing results, with points vital for survival at this stage of the season. Their recent form had been dreadful and seen them slip down the lead to 20th in midweek, but this win propels them back up to 18th, showing just how tight it is down there. Considering their lack of shots this season, they are tremendously accurate, second in the division for goals for every shot taken. Gary Rowett will take his Oxford side to Middlesbrough when the Championship returns, before they host promotion-chasing Sheff United at the Kassam. For Watford, it's been the story of their season, struggling to put consistent results together, which sees them just away from the playoff positions. Cleverly said, "I'm getting a little bit sick of disappointment, to be honest, when I don't feel my team are playing as poorly as the results maybe show. Why are we not winning the games we're full in control of?" Defeat at Oxford was their 16th this season and 10th away from Vicarage Road as they continue to struggle on their travels. Watford will host bottom of the table Plymouth after the international break, then Bristol City will host the Hornets a week later, the following Saturday. A huge relegation 6-pointer saw Derby County edge out Plymouth at home park with a vital 3-2 victory to see them go 3 wins in a row in their bid for survival. The opener went to the visitors as Marcus Harness reacted quickly to a flick-on from a long throw by Kane Wilson. He spun past his marker and smashed the ball home from close range, giving Derby an early lead. Another long throwing caused problems for Plymouth's defence again. A partial clearance, Harrison Armstrong struck a brilliant volley from the edge of the box, doubling Derby's advantage. Mustafa Bundu pulled one back for Plymouth with a stunning free kick from a tight angle on the left. The ball curled into the top corner. It left Derby's keeper with no chance. They managed to level the score as well early in the second half. Ryan Hardy's cross deflected off Nat Phillips into the net under pressure from Callum Wright. The fight back was truly on, but it was quashed in the 88th minute. Harness completed his brace with a composed finish. He started the move by passing to Callum Elder, who delivered a low cross into the box, and Harness deftly touched it into the net. The win helped Derby's hopes of avoiding relegation, while Plymouth remain at the bottom of the table. John Eustace said, "I'm very proud of the effort of the group. I thought we battled very well against a very difficult opponent. We're giving them that structure with and without the ball, and the players have been magnificent." Plymouth have kept just 1 clean sheet in their last 12 home matches in all competitions. Strangely, of course, that was against Liverpool in the FA Cup. But the league is now the focus, and more silly goals given away is costing them. Muslic said, "We simply gave away 2 easy goals from throw-ins that we could not defend. When you win a 6-pointer and 2-0 down, we knew that nothing after the second goal would be easy for us. Far too many goals have been conceded by Plymouth. That is looking likely to secure their downfall. Over 2 goals a game always gives you trouble, and to lose this one at home to a relegation rival would have been unthinkable before kick-off. Plymouth will hope to apply some pressure at least to their relegation rivals in 2 weeks' time, away at Watford and a 12:30 kick-off at Vicarage Road, before they return back to home park to take on Norwich. Derby County have won 3 consecutive championship matches for the first time since December 2021 under Wayne Rooney. What a time to end their away struggles as well, after winless in their last 10 away games. The Rams' 9 points in 6 games under John Eustace were as many as they won in their 16 matches before his arrival. That was just their second win away from home all league season. They're now just a point shy of Stoke and Cardiff in the relegation battle. Derby will want to continue this strong run as they host Preston next, ahead of an away trip to Swansea a week later. Preston took the victory over poor travellers Portsmouth at Deepdale with a 2-1 win thanks to goal from Ryan Porteous and Stefan Thordarson. Pompey came the closest to an opener in a relatively uneventful first 45 minutes. Though Andre Dozel's curling effort on the stroke of half-time, the game burst into life in the second half. The wait saw Porteous score his first goal for Preston, converting from close range after a well-worked free kick. Ched Evans headed the ball across the 6-yard box and Porteous was on hand to slot it into the bottom corner. Pompey responded quickly with Colby Bishop heading home from a Josh Murphy cross, a powerful header leaving the keeper with no chance. But then Thordarson produced a moment of brilliance, securing the win for Preston with minutes to go. He controlled a long ball from Robbie Brady, rounded the goalkeeper and finished from a tight angle with impressive composure. Sam Greenwood committed a late and reckless challenge late on, earning him a second yellow card in stoppage time for Preston, but the home side held on to the win. The victory ended Preston's 6-match winless streak, while Portsmouth missed an opportunity to climb further up the table. Heckingbottom said, "I enjoyed watching the second half, I enjoyed being a part of it, and we created enough chances to win, which is the pleasing thing. I'm really pleased with the win." A win at last for Preston, who are in need of 3 points after recent weeks' tough fixtures, which included playing 3 of the top 6 sides. Preston are unbeaten now in their last 11 league games against Portsmouth at Deepdale. After losing at Portsmouth earlier this season, they'll be pleased to have returned that favour at home. The win over Pompey was their 7th of the season at home, although another red card takes their tally to 5. No side in the division has committed more fouls or totaled more yellow cards than Preston. Excitement up next for Preston is Aston Villa in the FA Cup quarter-final, before a long-awaited return to the Championship the following midweek away at Derby. Portsmouth have lost 13 of their last 17 away league games. The pattern continues that away from Fratton Park, things continue to be difficult for Pompey on their travels. Mousinho said, "I'm absolutely furious. I can't believe what we did after getting the equaliser. Unacceptable on so many levels. I think I've been far too nice, far too kind on this team for far too long. That was absolutely awful." 2 back-to-back 2-1 losses have undone a lot of the good work that Pompey did after the victory on Leeds. They again will be relying on home form to see them safe. Portsmouth will face Blackburn at Fratton Park when the Championship returns, then a trip to Millwall the following Saturday. Burnley went 25 games unbeaten with a 2-0 win at Swansea. Josh Brownhill and Jayden Anthony on the score sheet for the Clarets. Burnley captain Josh Brownhill opened the scoring early. An unfortunate slip by Swansea's Josh Key, allowing Jayden Anthony to break down the left. He passed to Zion Fleming, whose cross was perfectly placed for Brownhill to tap in from close range for his 13th of the season. Burnley then doubled their lead after a scramble in the Swansea box. A Brownhill cross, both Anthony and Fleming had their shots blocked, but it fell to Anthony and he smashed into the roof of the net. Despite some promising moments, Swansea lacked the cutting edge to break through Burnley's solid defence. They had appeals for a penalty waved away, and they missed key chances, which included a header from Ronald in the 70th minute. The Clarets extended their unbeaten run to 25 matches and closed the gap on Leeds to just 2 points. Scott Parker said afterwards, "Overall, it was a really professional performance. We started the game really well in terms of our intensity, breaking out of certain areas and then executing with 2 goals. For Swansea, that's now 4 consecutive losses against Burnley, but 1 to brush off and move on from after recent improvement for the Swans under Sheehan. Their interim manager said it wasn't a good start, 2 slips on the ball, they had a quick counter and finished the action. You can't turn the ball over in those areas against this kind of team. So it's a first loss for Sheehan, but an understandable one. That is 18 in all, though, for Swansea in terms of losses. Their hope is that previous results should see them in a stronger position now when they look below them. Swansea face Leeds United up next in a challenging league match, with the question being whether the management situation will be confirmed by then. Then Derby County are next on the agenda. Those clean sheets are never far away for the Clarets, just 6 conceded on the road, which is the lowest per game away from home in Football League history. Burnley have become the first side in English second-tier history to keep 27 clean sheets in a season as well. Overall, only Port Vale in 1953-54 with 30 shutouts. More importantly for the Clarets, it positions them on the cuff of the promotion places. With Leeds dropping points, they are just 2 points off the top 2 as the race continues to twist and turn. The Clarets will take their unbeaten run back to Turf Moor to host Bristol City up next, with a visit to informed Coventry a week after. A 1-1 draw at the Hawthorns as West Brom saw their Isaac Price lead taken away by Abu Kamara's equaliser for Hull City. Mikey Johnston saw a shot saved by Ivor Pandor and Adam Armstrong fired over in a first half the hosts dominated. Price opened the scoring in the 68th minute with a sublime volley from just outside the box. It was his first goal for the club, a moment of individual brilliance. West Brom dominated large portions of the game but struggled to convert their chances. John Swift hit the crossbar and Hull's goalkeeper Pandor made several key saves. It was the whole substitute Kamara, though, levelling the score in the 80th minute, reacting quickly to a header across goal from Casey Palmer and bundling the ball home from close range. Joe Wildsmith provided some late heroics as the West Brom keeper made crucial saves late in the game, including a one-on-one stop against Kamara to ensure his side held on for a point. The draw kept West Brom in the playoff spots, while Hull continued their fight to climb the table. Tony Mowbray said, "Ultimately, we paid the price for being only 1-0 up. We've got to be more ruthless. With 16 shots today and only 3 on target, that percentage is not good enough." West Bromwich Albion 1, opponent 1. A scoreline well known to Baggies fans this season, but West Brom had actually won 7 of their last 9 going into this one. The Baggies have now drawn 18 so far this season. We'll hope that won't cost them eventually in a really strong playoff place battle. But since the appointment of Mowbray, West Brom have looked good. They're a very difficult team to beat, that is for sure. Carrow Road is the venue for West Brom's next championship game after the international break, ahead of a home match against Sunderland. Hull had lost each of their last 7 visits to West Brom, conceding 20 goals across those defeats. So a draw on this visit with their circumstances will certainly be seen as a point gained. Ruben Sellers said they were more in control in the first half and we were suffering in some defensive moments, but we came back in the second half even though we conceded a goal and we ended the game creating chances. Safety is the priority for the Tigers and in recent week form is good and they've picked up key points. This will give Sellers and the supporters some confidence that they can stay clear of the drop. Hull are next back in action in 2 weeks' time, hosting an important relegation battle on Saturday lunchtime at home to Luton Town before the Tigers face a trip to Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield United claimed a narrow 1-0 win over arch-rivals Sheffield Wednesday in the Steel City derby to put themselves joint top of the Championship with Leeds United. The Owls started strongly with Michael Smith's bullet header forcing a brilliant save from Michael Cooper early on, but despite creating opportunities they couldn't find the back of the net. Harrison Barrow's block stopped Josh Windass from giving Wednesday the lead in the second half in a fiery game with 6 yellow cards between the two. William Brewster did score the only goal of the game, and it happened in the 67th minute. Tyrese Campbell delivered a powerful cross, and although the keeper got a hand to it, the ball fell kindly for Brewster to tap in at the back post. Sheffield United's defence then held firm under pressure. Hamza Chowdhury made a crucial clearance, denying a dangerous cross from Michael Smith as Wednesday could not find a way through. The win gave the visitors the bragging rights and moved Sheffield United level on points with Championship leaders Leeds United. Chris Wilder said, "It felt good. I talked to the players before about how we were ridiculed for being in League One. A pub league and all that. Since I took over in 2016, we've now managed to close that gap." Wednesday's playoff hopes took a hit as well as they missed the chance to close the gap on the top 6. For the Owls, that will be a tough one to take against their Sheffield rivals. Having waited so long and not scored in either game this season, they'll be frustrated, particularly off the back of those 2 excellent results. Danny Roll said, "When you look at the second half and see the opponents had just 1 touch in our box, the goal, and that we created chances, more possession, set pieces, shots on targets, we were ahead of them and we deserved a point." That is a 15th defeat the season for Sheffield Wednesday. A mid-table finish is looking quite likely at this point, but they'll be looking to dust themselves down during the break. Sheffield Wednesday will return after the internationals with a trip to Cardiff City before they host Hull City the following week. A very important win for the Blades, both in the City and in the league table. Leeds' draw at QPR has seen Sheffield United join them on 80 points at the top of the Championship. Sheffield United have now won their last 6 away league games for only the second time in their history, doing so last in 1892-93. The reaction since the defeat to Leeds has been first class and Wilder will be confident going into the end of the season. 25 wins in all now for United, who have a huge 8 games ahead of them. A Friday night clash against Coventry when the Championship returns for the Blades before they face a trip to Oxford United. So here's that all-important Championship table before we go into the international break. As you said, Sheffield United have joined Leeds at 80 points at the top of the table and Burnley are only 2 points off both of those. In the playoffs, Coventry rising to 5th position, West Brom dropping to 6th, Bristol City just on the edge there in 7th, but Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Watford, Millwall, they're all looking at it. Sheffield Wednesday as well, potential to get back in there, only 6 points off of 6th place. At the bottom, not a massive win that was for Derby. They closed the gap on Stoke and Cardiff to 1 point. Plymouth are still bottom, Luton still in 23rd, but you've only got to look all the way up to almost sort of QPR. That's only 7 points, and that's in 15th place. So a really exciting Championship end coming through. So thank you very much for watching the video. Going to be back soon doing some more Championship videos. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.